For his sake, this is the first time I've seen this. Hello everyone, by the way. Welcome to another video. Let me just have my plane parked in my apartment, yeah? Like, just real quick, and then same with my boat and my off-roader, yeah? So what's this? Can you go down or up, or how's this work? How do I go out of this place? Oh, you can change your suit and everything? Customize avatar? It's kinda sick. I didn't know that this was a thing. Wow, I like this. Well, I guess here you go. Here's a little sneak peek of what your apartment place can look like. I don't know if you can you like own multiple places? I'm gonna guess you can, because I think this place is... Where is this place? Exactly. Okay, I've never seen this before. This icon I've never ever seen before. So, we're in Miami, I guess. That's where my home is. Basically, this video... as you guys have seen by the title, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the handling in this game and what it's actually like. Mostly focusing on drifting, but I still want to talk to you guys a bit about the handling of a bunch of different cars in the game. But we'll start off with the drifting. So I ended up buying myself an RX-7, drift spec RX-7, and what is it like? What is it like to drive? First of all, I'm not a huge fan of the camera. I really don't like the swaying camera. I'll show you guys what I mean by that. As you can see, it does this, right? Actually, the camera stays in one spot, but the car moves around. So I'm not really a huge fan of that. I wish that it was just a little bit like, I don't know. I wish that we would follow the rear end of the car, just like other games, because it makes it a little bit difficult for me to sort of figure out a way to drive this thing properly when it does that, when it starts swaying like that. Even though it is kind of easy to spot like what it's doing if I just do this. Now. Do I like the drifting in this game? At the moment, I don't. I don't like the drifting in this game. It's kind of weird. You don't do much. You just sort of steer into a corner and it automatically goes into a slide. You don't have to do anything for it to start sliding. Look at this, right? That's it. I just steered into the corner and it starts to slide. Obviously, I'm going too fast and I've messed it up, but I just wanted to show you guys. You just don't do anything. You just sort of steer and it's already sliding. You don't have to counter steer. Only when you want to change direction, pretty much. It's really iffy. I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know how to control it. Like the steering is so slow at the front. I don't understand how to actually control this car. Like, I can just slide for like a couple of seconds and then it's just gone again. It just doesn't feel right. Counter steering takes forever to do. It's just a little bit weird to try and play this game like this. I like the RX-7. It's actually a really fun car to drive because of the way it sounds amazing. So the car sounds in this game are very good, but I'm not a big fan of the drifting because I don't know how to control the cars. Do I have to be a little bit more like careful with the steering, slightly less like steering? I don't even know, to be completely honest, because you don't have to counter steer in this game to be able to slide. You just sort of accelerate once you just press the steer side, like to go into that direction sideways. You sort of have to do the same thing a little bit as Need for Speed, but it just feels really awkward and weird to try drifting this game, and it just goes wide. Like, I don't know how to control it from going that wide, because if I correct it, right? Okay, so I'm very slowly getting the hang of it, but I mean, it still feels incredibly awkward. Still feels incredibly awkward to drive. I don't have to handbrake. I don't have to like just use my brake or anything. I just sort of steer into the corner, and that's pretty much what drifting is. So, at the moment, I'm not a huge fan of it. Please let us change the camera, please. The crew 2. Devs, Ubisoft, please let us just change the camera. Let me have the camera fixed at the, well, not fixed, but fixed to the rear end of the car at the back a little bit, because I don't want this whole swaying car thing to happen. It just puts me off every time I drive it. There's no game that does it. Need for Speed does it. It has the angled camera, but like, because so many people complained about it that they wanted like a normal camera, they've added it into the game. You can actually turn it off. They've done this back in Need for Speed 2015, and they've kept it with Payback, and it thankfully it stayed in the game, and it's so much better. So I don't really like the drifting in this game at the moment, but I mean, hopefully they sort of improve it with the game's lifespan. This should be kind of long, and people should be able to sort of work on it and improve it and do things that the community want to see. So me as a part of this community now, see, I'm not steering right now at all. The thing just slides. But yeah, I really wish that the drifting would be slightly improved. Make it a little bit more difficult. Don't make it that easy, where you just sort of turn into a corner and that's pretty much it. Now, what about off-roading? What is off-roading like in this game? I love it. I love off-roading in this game. It is so good. I love the suspension travel. I love all the dirt and everything. I wish that the cars would get a little bit dirtier, right? This does get slightly dirty. You see a little bit on the side and stuff like that. A few splashes of mud and all that stuff. The wheels do get dirty. Probably over time they do, because I haven't really spent a lot of time off-roading in this game. I've only done it in a couple of races, but I love the physics. I think the physics are really good off-road. The cars don't go 300 miles per hour off-road, which is great. I haven't really tried anything stupidly powerful, so maybe they do go 300 miles an hour off-road, but it's a little bit more realistic. I honestly really like it, especially with the Doom buggy that I'm driving now. Off-road, it's actually really good to drive. It feels great. The suspension looks great too as well. I love that. I love the long suspension travel. It's really nice, especially that it's really nice and soft. It's nice to drive off-road in this game. It feels just right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really a lot of stuff to sort of say about this. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about this. It looks like over time the car does get actually dirtier and dirtier. But yeah, the handling physics are actually very good off-road as well. You do have the grip where you need it. Obviously, if you go off the road and stuff like that, you sort of lose grip, and as well, it just feels like you are going to slide a little bit more if you don't pay attention and you start to understeer stuff, because obviously you're not on an actual road, you're sort of off-roading. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying the whole off-roading thing in this game. I think I'll like that a lot, especially since this map is absolutely massive. There's so many places where you can go off-road, not even just on trails, just anywhere you want. You don't have to use the trail, you don't have to use anything, you just sort of go off-road and enjoy yourself. Now, one of my favorite things about this game is obviously changing from vehicle to vehicle, or to just any car you want, in a matter of just a few clicks, wherever you are. I love that so much. So now that I've changed over to the TTRS, which I bought very recently, I wanted to show you guys, or tell you guys, exactly what the handling physics are like when you're sort of racing on the street, or when you're actually racing on the road. What is it actually like? It feels a little bit floaty, right? I feel like it's just a little bit too arcadey, but it's not even close to the way Need for Speed is. Need for Speed, you sort of have to break the drift to be fast, pretty much, in the game. Whereas in this game, you actually have to start braking for corners, turning in, and then accelerating out of the corners again, or else you're pretty much screwed. You can handbrake into corners, obviously, just like any other game. It does slow you down quite a bit though if you do that. So braking before the corner and stuff sort of helps, and then just accelerating out of it just as you would in any other game. So that still sort of works. Those type of physics still sort of work in this game, even though the handling physics are a little bit floaty. So the only thing I wish that you do get understeer as well if you go too fast. You do start to get oversteer if you do any sort of like lift off oversteer, which is great that happens. So if I do this, the back does step out slightly if I just go to a corner and let go of gas. So it will go into a slide very slightly. Say we're braking into a corner, it does the same thing as it would in real life. You sort of obviously put pressure on the front wheels, make them grip, and then the rear end sort of loses grip a little bit, and then it starts to come back around. So it's kind of obvious that they've taken real life physics into consideration when they've done this, and it's not just like Need for Speed where they're just like, you know what, screw it. If they drift around the corner, that's the fastest way to go around the corner. You know what I mean? So even though it is a little bit floaty, and sometimes I don't know what I'm doing when I'm driving, it still feels sort of good to drive. It feels a lot better than it does in Need for Speed anyway. Now for the handling physics in the air and the boat, I feel like that's kind of pretty easy to explain. I mean, I'm only going to talk a little bit about what the cars are like in this game to, or basically the ground vehicles are like in this game to sort of control and do all that stuff with, because I think the majority of the time I'm gonna be on the ground in this game. The flying is very, very easy. The boats again are very, very easy. You just sort of lean back to get a little bit more power, and also you have NOS on every single car, so or every single vehicle I should say. Even planes have NOS. Ooh, don't fall off. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I almost jumped off. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it. The cars sound amazing in this game. They sound really, really good. I'm very happy with the car sounds in this game. Doesn't matter what vehicle it is. It actually sounds so good. So that's a thing that I'm looking forward to as well. Driving more and more cars. Maybe some big V8s as well. That would be kind of cool to try see what they sound like. But overall, I'm enjoying the game. Just the drifting isn't really my sort of thing in this game, which sort of sucks because I love obviously drifting in every single game. But I mean, in this game I guess it'll have to be a little bit less than usual, or I have to sort of figure out a way to do it, because I think that's what needs to happen. I sort of have to figure out a decent way to slide in this game and get the hang of it pretty much before I do anything else. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.